The RPA Today Show, hosted by Rob House and Wilton Rogers. The show that brings you the latest insights on RPA, robotic process automation, and how it's impacting every industry, as well as interviews with companies that are currently winning big with this technology. You'll also hear from other industry leaders and experts who will be sharing some of their success secrets to help you become more productive and to grow your business. The show is brought to you by Simply Automate, where we help you get more done in less time and more ease for your mind with strategic business automation. Learn more at www.simplyautomateinc.com. And please follow us on LinkedIn. If anything in this show resonates with you, please let us know by leaving a review. The RPA Today Show, where you just might learn something you didn't know. Welcome to the RPA Show. We're back. Another fantastic episode, man. Wilton, every time we get on the microphone here, we get a chance to do something special. You know, like share some information with somebody who that they can take that information and possibly save their business, possibly enhance their business, and possibly change their lives. And this, we're not just talking pie in the sky stuff, man. We're talking about real actionable steps that can put you in a great place. I love having a show like that, man. How about you?
Man, that's why we do it. That's exactly why we do it, man. We can connect the dots for people really, really fast so they can grow really, really fast, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is we're connecting the dots for people. That's it, right? And the people that we're blessed to be surrounded around, the knowledge and the resources, and the programs, it's like, we know it's out there. Like we know it's out there, right? So see what's out there is like, oh man, if people can just understand a little bit of the next intelligent automation world, they can get so far ahead. If they built a culture that understands intelligent automation,
oh man,
they can scale overnight. Right?
Scale overnight. Instantly. Never done.
Instantly. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing it. We're seeing these companies, and we have the gratefulness, I guess you could say, and the blessing to be involved with some that look like and come out right out of a movie. And you're actually having conversations with them, So yeah.
Yep. It's interesting, man. It's interesting where we are. And I love meeting people who know where we need to go. Not necessarily where we're going, but where we need to go. We got a great guest today. We actually got a special guest today. Special guest, Mr. Robb Cheeks is here. But this is the first time. This is very, very interesting, talking about technology, talking about where we're going. This is maybe the first actual interview with a live avatar, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't see this and you're only listening to the podcast, I suggest you come over to our YouTube channel. That's right. Mm-hmm. Subscribe while you're there. YouTube plug. And then check out this episode. You can also come to our LinkedIn page. This brother right now is in an avatar suit. All right. He's talking to us, and he's doing some other pretty incredible things with technology. He's also even working with us, doing some fantastic things with Simply Automate. He has his hands in all kinds of technological pots. Robb Cheeks he's a digital transformation and growth architect. He's something like specializing in experiential proximity is what he said. You got to explain that. And quantum marketing. You ever heard of quantum marketing? Quantum, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Next level. Robb Cheeks, man, welcome to the show. We can't wait to dig deep into what you know.
Thank you, man. I really greatly appreciate it. And thank you guys for having me. I've been checking out the RPA show a lot, and you guys do a lot of great things. So I'm really proud to be on here with you guys.
Well, we're proud to be talking to a live avatar, ladies and gentlemen. This is letting us know where we are going, where we are going, where we are. And you, Robb, man, you've been messing around with technology for a while. Why don't you let the folks know, like, what even got you started to be, because you're coaching and consulting, but you're helping businesses grow, and you're always able to add technological insights Tell us how you got started, man, on this road.
Yeah, man. I mean, I started technology really like way back in the days in the 90s. I mean, I'm telling my age by saying that, but I've been online since 96. So it's really understanding. I went through the whole Y2K and everybody thought the internet's going to crash, and at that time I was coaching people just to let them know it's all right. It's not going to crash and we're fine. And then, went in from, as it kept going from like building websites, everywhere the game went, I kind of just stayed ahead of it and always just kept moving. But then I was able to lead people or guide them and show them what are the best ways for them to pivot in the digital transformation,
Mm-hmm. Pivot, like that word, pivot. That's when, you got the basketball and so you got your back to somebody and they trying to block the shot. You can actually wiggle left or right with the right pivot to find that.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And then with technology, you just have to do that because it's ever changing, and it's like you will hit on one thing for a moment, and I always joke with people and I say, don't become Blockbuster because, Blockbuster was supposed to be Netflix. They just didn't pivot. You know what I'm saying? And if they would have put a box in front of all their stores, they would have been Redbox. So you just didn't pivot. So you got to kind of look at technology. Where's it going? How can I get ahead of that or at least pivot when it comes? Because everybody can't go left and you still going right. You're going to lose.
That's so true. I mean, especially in the world we live in now,
right.
There's so many obstacles. Let's just call them branches.
Right.
But no one knows the strongest one until you get to the end. You go, this is the strongest one, but how'd you get there, right? So there's a lot of things that are going to take you off track. And being able to put yourself in a position to understand which branch to take, it's important to be involved and being surrounded by people that have already done it and that are doing it, right? That you're always going to be like, okay, show me how. You always be like, show me how so I can learn how stage, right? You've been doing it for a very long time. I mean, how were you able to do what you do now?
Well, was really looking at the game. I'm an innovator, first off, so I always look at kind of where it's going. And I feel where I think a lot of people go wrong with technology is that you're fighting against it, and instead of fighting, you gotta like control the narrative of it. And if it's your space and it's what's going on, you kind of gotta say, okay, if the AI or the robots or different things are going to come in, how can I supervise that? See, because they're still going to need a supervisor. They're not going to really be able to do it on their own. So you got to look at it that way. So when I deal with brands, I kind of dive into their niche, their industry and where they're at and start painting pictures like this could happen. These things could go on. So at least you get a better understanding and say, oh, I see how it could fit in. It's like, that's what I love about like RPA. It's like everything is going to automate. And it's like, if you don't look at it that way, you at the same time are wasting that employee because that employee could be doing something else instead of a repetitive task all the time. So that's how I look at it in that way to keep growing the space.
That's good. That's good. That's a great point that you made. I mean, honestly, logically, it just makes sense. If you are a business owner, if you're a manager or an operator, you want whatever. You want to get the most out of people who are working there.
Right.
And the people who are working there want to get the most out of their own time. It makes no sense to anyone on the planet for you to do a repetitive thing. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So it's all about now, how do we transfer this logic, what we know is logical, to people? Right. And I like what you said, you meet them where they are, right? Then you start painting pictures. Right. You start painting pictures of how, Susie can take now to 10 hours and do it in 4 minutes. Oh, right. You start painting pictures on what? Okay. Right. It's good. Yeah.
It's like with our company, we have Mirror Image Studios, and Mirror Image Studios is what creates the avatar that you're seeing now. So that's, again, me being proactive to say, all right, let's get the avatar together. And then now I'm showing it on Zoom. So everybody's using Zoom. So right away you go, wow, if he has it on Zoom, it has to be going there. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the parts that you need to do is really, where's it practical? Because I think a lot of parts for people is they don't see it's like fantasy and reality. So then they look at that and they'll hear certain things and go, well, that's fantasy. That would never happen. Mm-hmm. So anytime you could kind of put that right in front of their face and go, why is that happening right there? Then they give it a little more thought. So that's part of our marketing strategy, because you can also use it on Google Meet. You also could use it in the video game and play as yourself. So if you get to play as yourself, why be all those avatars that they're putting in the game, the Goofy, Bunny, or any of that stuff? Be yourself in the game, but at the same time with the avatar, we attach the digital wallet to it. So now it's an NFT as well. See, so now you can buy clothes in the metaverse. So it's giving you that bridge to the metaverse of how it would work. I'm just showing the business side of it. But of course, the kids, this is their like gold mine for them.
Oh yeah. That's fascinating, man.
I'll tell you one more ill part about it. It's like, imagine it's like, people always would complain with the kids playing the game. Oh, you're playing the game too much. You're always playing the game. But imagine if I play in Fortnite as myself. Now, the fact that I'm playing as my avatar, Fortnite knows it's me. It's not somebody that's just holding the controller. It's actually me because that's my avatar. Let's say I clear a level on Fortnite and they like, wow, he did really great. They could pause the game in a sense, come at me and go, how did you do that? What made you do this? And do a mini focus group with me. And once they finish with that, pay me in my digital wallet. Thanks. Like a focus group. So now the kids are going to start getting paid for playing the game. Because if you think of the logic, instead of taking $2 million in marketing and putting it on the outside, why not take that same $2 million, bring it on the inside? And if I'm playing and I made $200, let's say this week off of Fortnite, and I said to my friend, like, hey, I made $200. You're going to go, what? I need to get on Fortnite. Yeah. See, so the marketing, that is more of a referral side of it. That's what's going to start really making it.
Ooh, man, that is incredible.
Right.
The way people are able to make a living have changed where they can really do what they love to do.
Right.
And make a good living doing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And for one more part to add to it, it's like, even when it was like, and that's working with you guys, and when I was looking at from the RPA side of it, and imagine it's like, because we do say it's digital bots and it's doing the different things, but imagine that you can actually have almost like an avatar. So the avatar is the digital worker now. You get what I'm saying? It's like, that's where it's going to go. That even if you, right now, it's kind of behind the scenes, it's digital. If you kind of want to put a face to it and start making, what is that bot? That could be the avatar. That I can put the AI kind of would be the frequently asked questions. So now my avatar can become customer service and talking to you just like it's a human talking to you, because it knows the answer, whatever you want to know.
Absolutely incredible, man. I'm like, look, it's so funny because I'm blown away, but not, because I'm so crazy. I've thought about things but when you see it, it's like, wow. And then when you hear other people talking that same craziness, but this is where it's going. Yeah. How crazy were airplanes 1,000 years ago? Insane,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, we're moving at light speed. And, I'll add something to that. The future will also see something like, so you see these avatars here. And so each avatar can be downloaded with a bunch of different skill sets. So these different activities and executions that are happening, that can be actually built into your avatar. So now a person can actually have their avatar working and providing value to businesses. And that's all life is about. It's about value exchange. Value exchange.
Right. See, what a lot of people don't pay attention to is like when they keep saying the Great Reset, the Great Reset, the Great Reset is that. The Great Reset is like, it borderlines, the way you get to utopia is almost like I send my avatar to work. You get what I'm saying? If I have Tesla, I send my car out to do Uber. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? You got to start making the things work for you. Yeah. And then your utopia is you just to get to live off of it.
Yeah. Right. The next challenge would be people trying to figure out what to do with all this free time. Right.
Exactly.
It's really the next challenge.
That's it.
But then that'll still put them. Go ahead, Will.
I just think it's hard for people to really comprehend that.
Right.
Like it takes them a while. And I know because of what we do that a lot of them they're going to be all caught in the called the shuffle, right? Everybody's like, okay, now everybody's going to do it. It's like the fad's over with. It's a thing now. Everybody's doing it, right? So, and by then, you know, the ones that are, you know, that were before that, the early adopter, we call them, they're going to be so far ahead.
Right.
So far ahead.
So far ahead.
Because
it's just, right, go ahead.
It's just because the time to really understand and learn and implement is now before the chaos comes, right? So you get ahead of that. When the chaos comes, you already know how to handle it. You're on your own street, right? So
that's like a good stock tip. It's like that. It's like getting in Bitcoin when it was $5. You see what I'm saying? Right. It's like, so it's really that same kind of thing. And I think it's funny with technology, it's when it hits one point that kind of makes everybody light bulb go off in their head and go, you know what? I get it now. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, something I saw recently, like I said, even with NFTs, real quick, like NFTs is kind of still confusing to everybody. They don't really know how, where, you know, it's, you know, especially for the people that are not in it. But I saw one use case where imagine someone bought a plane ticket, right? But they bought the plane ticket, but they bought it with an NFT. So when they bought it with the NFT, their name is not on it. It's just the date, destination, where it's going. So let's say if I bought that plane ticket with an NFT and it's for November, now as it gets closer to that date, let's say, and using numbers, I paid $100. But as it gets closer to that date, I go, I'm not going to be able to go. Now I could sell that same plane ticket as an NFT, but if you look at the price now, it might be $300. Now, because it's closer to the date, I only paid $100. Now I could talk to a person and say, give me $200 and you can have it. He saved $100, I made $100. See, that's a practicality of NFT with our regular travels. That's what I mean. More of those things happen, that's when everybody's going to start getting it. You know, right?
That's a great explanation.
That is.
Yeah.
And it's easy to connect the dots. And once the people start getting it, it's easy.
Right. And then real quick, the NFT, if people want a quick way to look at it, it's almost like paying forward. That's really all it is. And for example, another easy example would be like, let's say like it's a barbershop. And let's say your haircut costs $20, you know, every haircut. So now the barber could sell it to you in a bundle. So he could say, I'll give you 5 haircuts, which will usually be $100, but I'll do it as an NFT and only give me $80. Then every time you go to the shop, you bring out your phone, he scans the QR code, boop, 1 is taken off until that 5 is done. See, so once everybody learns that, it's kind of like the discounts and all the different things goes into the NFT now. It's no more clipping the coupons and all of that. It's in the NFT. That's how when that happens, that's to me where the world's going to go to digital money. Because everybody's going to learn that. Then why spend that 100 if I could have spent 80?
What's your prediction on when the world will understand the change that we're going through?
Next year.
Think so?
Yeah, because what's lacking is the government in on it. See, when the government gets in on it, then they're just going to shift the whole thing. I predict the next stimulus would be in digital currency. That's how you make everybody get it. Because you don't care. You just want the money. And now it's going to say, how do I spend this? Oh, a card? Oh, it's this? They're going to follow whatever it is. And all the stores are going to accept the card because it's going to be a debit card. What's the difference? You know? So, I mean, and again, most people say, oh, we're years away. And I'm like, not really. I wouldn't be on this screen with the Zoom right here. We're not that far away, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
We've accelerated. We've definitely accelerated post-COVID. I mean, we went from, and I say this all the time, we went from the information age right into the digital transformation era. The information age into the digital transformation era. Like everything is happening faster at a light speed.
Right.
And that brings us to a really important thing that we talk about it a lot, and we hope that the seeds fall on good soil, meaning people get it. But it's time for people to start taking a look at their businesses. It's time to start seeing what you're doing and how you can add technology, how you can do some intelligent automation, how you can become intelligent. That word intelligent automation is important. It's intelligent because if you don't do it, you're going to look like Blockbuster. It's a given fact. You know what's a good thing about us while we're blessed right now? We are old enough to have experience and witness Blockbuster.
Exactly.
Like we have experience. So there's no reason for us to repeat these type of things we've already witnessed. Okay.
Right. And that's the difference where people might keep hearing like Web3. See, Web3 is the reset from Web2, which is that more engaging part of it. The more people are going to keep building their sites and situations in that Web3 technology, it's going to make you advance anyway. It's kind of like that. Like you got no choice because that's the way they feed in it. So it'll be like, oh, it's this site. They accept digital currency as the shopping cart. So now you go, all right, I want that piece. So I'm going to go get the digital currency they need me to get and get a wallet so that I can buy that shirt or whatever I want. See, it's going to dictate it anyway.
Yep. Interesting. Tell me this. All the businesses that you've helped, coach, consult, what's one of the biggest breakthroughs you had for them? Tell me one of the biggest problems you solved.
Let me see. Biggest problem. That's a good question. Because everything was in phases. So it's like, it's kind of, when I think about that, I'm trying to like really come with one that really like stands out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I stay ahead of it. So to me, what's kind of weird for me at times is things become second nature. So I don't look at it as a big deal where they would. And I go, oh, you were supposed to be doing this. And they go, oh, you helped us. And I'm like, I didn't even know I was that effective for you kind of thing, Yeah. So I'm trying to like really give me time. I'll pull.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, I know Wilton totally, you gets that, right? You'll do it. And you's like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm helping you this. And later on, they talk to you and be like, yo, you saved us this or this happened. And I'm like, oh, I didn't try to do anything special is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
You just do what you know you can do.
Right. And I take every case as its own. That's the part that's kind of fun to me because I look at it and I think everybody's their own case. So I say, okay, how can we really help you pivot? Like, what can we really do? So I try to focus on that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. Oh, before we're coming in for a landing shortly, but we cannot get off of this microphone without you sharing some insight and letting people know about what your son is doing with robots and crops. Okay.
Right. Yeah. What we have is what's called Cultivate Coin. So, I think I told you guys some time ago, maybe like 5 years ago, could be 6 now. Like, me and him always bounce off different things, what we could do. So he came up to me, he's like, Dad, I know what I want to do now. And I was like, what? He's like, I want to end world hunger. I'm like, wow, like that's ambitious. I'm down, let's do it. What we got to do or whatever. So he came with the idea where there's already had like grow boxes. So he partnered with this grow box company. A grow box is like those steel containers that you see, shipping containers from overseas, probably about 40 foot, long and wide, and started growing inside that box. So growing fruits, vegetables, marijuana, flowers, whatever you want. He even went as far as to say, hey, the bees are going extinct, so we can have the bees in there at the same time to help them pollinate and all of that. I'm like, great, and that already existed where people have grow boxes. His idea was then to say, all right, I want to partner with a robot company and we put robots in the box and they're the ones in there, fixing the crops, snipping it, cutting it, doing things they need to do. But you could put your headset on, like your Oculus, and then actually either control the robot or give it guidance. So that's when we kind of partner with farmers. So then the farmers could say, hey, here's what's supposed to happen. This is supposed to, but at the same token, we make courses out of it to teach people how to grow. See, so, you can now have a 10-foot box kind of in your backyard or in your driveway, and you got your thing going on. So imagine if the whole neighborhood do it. I'm doing lettuce, somebody else is doing tomatoes, he's doing cucumbers or whatever. Together, we got a salad. So you're always eating, so, and then we're making what's called container farms. So you see all those empty lots and spaces because the actual box has a solar panel on it, windmill, a hydronic pump that sucks the humidity and brings water into it. So it's self-contained. It doesn't need anything. And now you add the robot, it could sit in the desert and just go, and then keep pulling it. You don't have to keep importing the food from other places. You can grow it right where you at. So we have that going right now. And we'll have like the first beta kind of at the end of the year. And then going into next year, doing different spaces and places with it. So he was ambitious, but right now, everybody's excited and it's like, yo, let's make this happen. And, this is a great time right now,
That's so cool, man. That's amazing, man. That's just a conversation, man. That's crazy. I want to, and where just the thought of changing world hunger and where it can take you based on your understanding of, or your capability of understanding technology, what technology could do for you.
Yeah. So when everybody out there, you get a chance, check out Self Labs. Self Labs is the one that puts all these different things together. And what we do is we try to look at it because we also have what's called self. It's a self coin. And the self coin is as you improve yourself, you receive cryptocurrency for it. So we're teaching you mind, body, and soul how to make yourself better and reward you for being better, and, that's what we feel it'll help going forward, where, we want everybody to be better, so why not reward them,
That is phenomenal. And what an ambitious, wonderful, phenomenal idea of your son to end world hunger. We share that, right? I have that same heart for that. Right. And so I see RPA being a part of this solution as well. Because as those robots are starting to, put the food together and then delivery, there's all these actions that need to happen. Well, we need to make sure all those actions happen without humans having to be involved in it. So the humans can focus on making sure who needs to eat gets to eat. This is a really interesting conversation, guys. Right. Just want you to know.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're right. Because I think it's what makes it harder too is where, like you said, the people have to whether grow it or do those parts. Then once you get it, distribute it, then who's supposed to get it? It's so many aspects in it that if you learn how to use the automation, the robots, the RPA, then those parts get taken care of. And like you said, we can just focus on who needs to eat. You'll
be able to help a lot more people. A lot more. Right. So man, it's exciting times, man. It's really exciting,
especially even working with you guys because I see 2023 is the year RPA. So people better really, really get on that. And what I mean by the year is it's been going on, but I think it's when the light bulb goes off that a company realized if we don't do this, we're going to get left behind now because you're going to start seeing everybody in your space doing some form of it. So you can't let your competitor get too far. So you're going to go, wait a minute, we're still playing with repetitive human error, that angle, and they're not. So, people just like what's best. So they go, I'm going to go to them because it gets done faster. It's getting done faster because they're using RPA. See, it's that's, to me, 2023 is where that's going to kick all in.
Wow. Rob, give us your best piece. Give us your best piece of business advice, and Will, you can close it up. Give us your best piece of business advice.
Best piece of business advice I would say is always keep an open mind. That's the first and foremost. Don't worry about what was done. I think people kill themselves a lot with that. Oh, that's never happened, or nobody's ever done that before. But that's not what it's about. We all, are spiritual beings. We all have the power. We all have a mission of what we came here for. So learn how to play into that and then put that into your business. The more you can use your intuition in there, it's going to really drive your business way more. And once you really use an intuition, the money's just going to follow it. It has no choice because everything happens in the spiritual world first, and then it manifests into the physical. So if you're there, you always filling that canvas the way you want to fill it. So that's what I would say.
Man, oh man.
Right. Yep.
Finger snap.
You know, if you know, there's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot to learn, and you have a lot of knowledge. And if people wanted to, like, you know, learn more and just be able to, you know, maybe answer a question they may have, you know, how can they get a hold of you? You know, where can they find, you know, not only Robb Cheeks, but also, you know, the understanding of what's coming through Avatar, what have you? How can they find you? Where can they find you?
Yeah, make sure they know how they can get a Robotron.
Right. Yeah, you can get an avatar at we have Mirror Image Studios, so you can always go there, Mirror Image Studios. You just search that and that'll come up. Business-wise, I'm like, LinkedIn is a really great place to be. So if you kind of look me up there, I do a lot of talks there, and then from there we parlay it into whatever business or whatever we need to do. But I'm always open to that initial consultation. You know, so everybody's like, oh, about money and this and that. Sure, we can get to that point, but I rather just give you some insight about what's going on, maybe pull some pointers that you've never thought about before, just in your space. And then from there, we can take it on. So I would say, let's do LinkedIn. And then I have Robb Cheeks Consultant.biz. That's my website. But I would just say LinkedIn is easier because I'm there and I will like respond.
Yeah. We'll make sure to put those in the show notes because this is to be continued. It's gonna be next time. He's gonna say it's gonna be I told you so.
Right. The next session. And then I would just say if you want more information, like we were talking about the grow boxes, cultivate coin, things in that nature, go to Self Labs. Self Labs, you just search that and you'll see all the different things. Because there's many other things we're doing, but like you said, we don't have the time. That'll be the next one. And then I'll come with some other things that's going on that'll really be like really mind-blowing.
Yeah, so go to those show notes. And as these mind-blowing things start coming on, we're going to add to the show notes. So at this time next year, there might be a list of them. But you know what? I'm trying to tell you, you'll learn a lot. Every time I talk to Robb, something happens. And right. it's always good. So, hey, man, we definitely appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man, I love you guys, man, because, you know, we're like think tanks, and I love the way we bounce off each other, and then we create and think of ways and different strategies and things we can do to help people, which is always a great thing. And, you know, with Robb always kicking off his freestyles every Friday, keeping us motivated, you know what I'm saying?
Motivation, all of it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big music fan, so it's like that's always entertaining for me. So I love what you guys are doing. Let's keep it up.
We're going to keep it up. That's what we are here to do. Listen, the future is what you do today, ladies and gentlemen. The future is what you do today. And hopefully you've got some insight from this episode to take some action in this moment. That's why they said the present is a gift. It really is. It's the same word. And the way you open that gift is by opening and living in this moment right now and taking action in it. So
do we have time, but I could add one more on top of what you're saying right there?
Go ahead, man. It's the icing on the cake.
Okay, here's how people got to look at that. They always say, you hear people, you got to live in the now. You got to live in the now. You got to think about it like this. Like, you can't live in the past and you can't live in the future, right? Because if you're in the past, that equals depression because you can't do nothing about the past. You can't change it. So all you're going to do is get depressed by it. The future is going to present anxiety because you don't know what's coming. You can't control it. So you have to live in the now. And just to put the icing on the cake of that, that's why the top two pharmaceutical and medications that you see is for depression and anxiety, because the people don't know how to live in the now.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting because if you think about it, that's very, very true. It's like, what causes depression? What really does?
Right.
You know,
Right.
you don't live. Yeah. So well said.
Okay.
Well
Chew on
said.
that, ladies and gentlemen. Chew on that and soak that in your soul for a little while. This is the RPA show, where you just might learn something you didn't know. Until next time.